Look at this face, it's an angry face. The face of being rejected, facing rejection, either from people at work, a proposal that we put up to a superior, or definitely for a lot of men who are growing up, still growing, to send out an invitation to a woman, to ask for a date, to request for some form of feedback, getting the feedback not what we wanted to hear, or maybe getting a simple line as, "No, I think we treat you just like friends." Oh, that's very painful for a lot of men to hear, in fact. And as much as we can deny the 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 emotion, the trigger is still there. So what is this rejection? The lie that we call rejection. What is this all about? Rejection versus non-selection. So in today's POA podcast, let's dive deeper into this topic where hardly a lot of men talk about. In fact, hardly no men ever talk about the kind of feeling that they face when the emotions of being rejected arise. And common ways of protecting ourselves could be, nah, it's okay, it's fine. It's her loss, not mine. Nah, it's all right. There are better people. Let's pause here and really feel this emotion. What is this emotion all about? Because most rejections are not about not being selected, whether it's an idea or is it something that is personal. But when someone choosing differently, if we sit down and pause for a while, there could be someone else that can agree and align with our presence, our time, and our ideas. And as we become honest with ourselves, at that moment, with someone or an idea that was rejected, the feeling of being reflected about our own self-worth is there. And as we pause and look at it, it is a reflection of the other party's filter. But many times, men who are not aligned, we make it about our own values. That is there something about ourselves that's not enough? Maybe I should change my values to suit them so that things can flow and move together. And as a result, these outcomes that are forced, they are no longer in the flow of alignment. And the meaning that the deal was closed or the attraction was created, following comes suffering because of our own misalignment. So welcome, let's go deeper into this topic, and I can very assure that every man who is still growing and who values growth, whether you like it or not, there is this emotions of rejection that's still there. And to numb it is not growth. To come to terms with it, to have this neutrality, I would proudly say that is progress with time. So the real rejection here we are talking about is actually our own self-rejection. And what do I truly mean by that? In POA, we talk about when we abandon ourselves, our own alignment. That means in order to fit in, to be liked, to be accepted, I lowered my standard. Or I end up over-explaining myself. Hey, guys, I think you all should watch this video. It's good for you. And I end up chasing for you all to get the attention that I want so that you can watch the video. Or whether someone else needs to listen to me. No, no, no. Just give me a moment. Give me a minute. Let me explain. And it is natural when the over-explaining energy becomes more forward-moving, it becomes chasing. And when a person is chasing, he is in a leaning forward energy and momentum. And as an aligned man, we know our value, we ground ourselves, we stop performing. Of course, there are performance that we have to undertake whenever there's a task or a mission in our line of work, or maybe at a relationship wise, there's an assignment for us to go through. But a man would feel otherwise if he doesn't find his own grounding and alignment. the sense of lousiness can be felt that why do I have to give in? And it is usual for a POA man or non-POA man to feel lousy when he gives in because that is not coming from an alignment. So if we look at being ignored, so someone ignores us, whether it is a peer, a friend, or the lady of the opposite sex, of course, lady of opposite sex, of course. We put up a proposal to meet them, and there's this feeling of ignored, or maybe another man that you have a friendship or you have a business partnership with, and he offers something less than what you are willing to accept. So we look at this lack of the pain of rejection, this emotion of rejection that feels, oh, did I not present myself properly? Of course, there's areas to self-reflect how we can do better in our communication. But first thing first, the communication with ourselves and alignment has to be well established and take all the time you need to find this alignment first before we react out of emotions. And being ignored is a lack of alignment, timing, or capacity. And what does it mean by that? So that feeling will hurt when we attach our identity to being accepted. And when a POA man is aligned and grounded, it is a matter of me. Let's say, for example, we as the aligned man, when we are grounded, those who come and fall away are not in alignment with us, and those who enter and stay are the ones that are truly attracted to our alignment and the values that we offer. So, or when the man doesn't have his strong roots in alignment, it can be swaying. When the wind blows left, we turn to the left, and the wind blows right, can turn to the right. But a strong grounded tree, when the wind blows, we can move with the wind in order not to break. But the roots have to be very strong. That is where our values, our alignment have to be constantly built and checked in. So this is not to judge ourselves that, this is not good. We are not aligned. I'm feeling this again. It's okay. Checking in is always, it can be a daily practice, or it can be a moment-to-moment practice. Like some of my mentors in my life always taught me that always put one foot in front of the other and check in with myself every now and then from moment to moment. The pain that usually comes in when we are off or being thrown off is because there's still a need to seek external validation. I need him to accept my project for me to feel good about myself as a project leader. I need this woman to say yes in order to validate me as an attractive man. Or I need my wife to look up to me so that I feel that I'm being respected. And our nervous system, our body always, in fact, the mind always wants to be chosen because who doesn't like to be applauded and appreciated and being given that validation? Everybody, in fact, as human in this world, as we are running and walking with society and life, there's always this feel-good factor. We put something on social media, a lot of people like and comment that's positive. Or we wear something nice. Hey, Paul, you look very good. Oh, hey, you have a nice haircut. All these things are compliments. And whether they are genuine or not, we can't really decide for someone else. But when we know we feel good about it, it is good. But then on the other side of the coin, when we are not chosen, that means there is an opportunity to feel lousy. There's a fine line difference between, hey, I appreciate your compliment versus I need your compliment to be okay. And it is a fine line. And we are not here to be rude at, hey, I need less of your confidence. I don't need any validation to be okay. No, this is more part of like a disconnecting with ourselves and being in denial. But when we are able to walk with our own alignment, we are able to appreciate those who are aligned with us. And we respect and have compassion for those who are not aligned with us, not saying that we are superior, they are not. But it's just a matter of difference, as the light respects the dark and vice versa. So when we are still aware of ourselves that we need this validation, we need confirmation from us, from others to validate us. It is not about them. It is about the mirror that we are showing ourselves. There is parts of us that's misaligned. And it does not make us a misaligned man. There's only parts of us that we want to be able to identify. So if we look at just the core of our masculine nature, the masculine nature always wants to be selected. So what do you mean? So when we are hunters, we hunt, we want to win. And we are a man, we are firm, we want to know that we are strong. And as a man, we become decisive, we lead, people follow. So, but the real follower and the leader inside ourselves here is this. When we make a decision to lead with many following us, despite the truth that we are not convinced, does it make us more of our masculine self versus I trust myself, my alignment, I walk in my own masculine alignment, yet followers might be less, but that is my true, authentic, aligned self. So which that do you want to garner? So if I use social media here, I can post a picture of myself, or maybe for ladies out there, they post a picture of themselves, oh, looking very stunning and alluring, but it is highly filtered. That is really doesn't look like them or doesn't align with who they are and as they show up in physical presence, or maybe even in person, completely different. Okay, this is not uncommon in the social media right now on this era. But then again, that happens to get a lot of likes and comments. But on the other hand, when I post a picture of me, let's say at my study table, without any filter, but less people like, then I start to believe, hey, if I become in a certain way and I show and I perform and present in a certain way, that there are more people who like me, then why do I still choose myself? I think that is a very important part because end of the day, when as a POA man, when we are being with ourselves, who is the person that we want us to be chosen? And that's where we talk about in the powers of pre-selection. The most important pre-selection is not from anyone else, but we choosing ourselves all the time. So as this rejection becomes an event, this the interaction with the people on the external side becomes an event. Okay, we recognize it as an event. Okay, so it's an event. Okay, it's not about our self-worth. At this point, there's an event, there's an emotion that comes up. There's this tightness, there's this anger, and just now in the earlier podcast, oh, I was a bit angry. I'm human. So there's this anger, there's this heat, there's the tightness of the chest. Maybe I want to clench and hey, you know what? Let me show you who's the man. Let me know what you're missing. Let this turn into, let this sensation sit with us. Like for the purpose of this podcast, I take this opportunity right now to share with all my guys out here. Take this opportunity to reflect and pause and talk to ourselves. What is this emotions that is still lingering inside me? That there are parts of me that I have not acknowledged. So putting my identity aside. Okay, that means this is nothing to do with my identity as a person because I choose myself and that's all it matters. So what is it out there right now that I have not chosen? Perhaps I met with someone who is misaligned and I still have this tendency inside me that I wanted to chase to seek, and probably on the side of people pleasing. So people pleasing is something that is from our childhood, and I will not go too much in depth, and especially when there are men who grew up in a in a season where we were taught to do right, we are being rewarded. Do wrong, we are being reprimanded. So instead of me being real with myself, I need to decide what is the right thing to do in order to be accepted versus the wrong thing that I'll be punished, and hence compromising my true identity and my authentic self. So when we really stay aligned with ourselves, there is no such thing as rejection. It's a matter of misalignment. That means my service or my presence here is not in tune or in the same direction of where the other person is pursuing. All right, that's it. And if we can reach to such an extent, we can conserve this energy to really put our focus on those people who are truly aligned and start attracting those friends, fellowship, and for those who are single out there, the right partners, instead of going for those who we often feel that, wow, this is unattainable. I need to shift and shape myself to achieve the unattainable in order to feel good about myself. And then I will be okay. Then again, when the night falls, when we are left with ourselves, the only person we need to answer to is our own alignment. So, my dear friends, the we are we do not need to be rejected by outcomes. We can use these outcomes, the emotion triggered by these outcomes, to pause and remind ourselves to choose back ourselves again. These kind of emotions only happens when we neglect and abandon ourselves in pursuit of the validation that we want from others out of ourselves. And that sometimes can include our partners whom we have not been communicating, and hence the gap over time tends to widen, and that becomes another challenge. So, how do we continue to stay aligned and to make sure that I choose myself and inspire those around us to also stay aligned with themselves? Because that's where what we deserve, a true, authentic, aligned relationships and friendships, isn't it? With that, I hope this short podcast can realign my dear friends. I've realigned myself for sure. The energy from the start of the video until now, I shared myself happy. With that, I will see you guys soon at our next podcast.